Well, good morning, everyone. These are weird glasses. Anyway, I'm sure all of you are familiar with the State of Aphasia report, which was published last year as an advocacy tool, a resource, 125 pages just chocked with data. But the report really was not the end goal. The end goal is to address the recommendations that evolved out of the research for the report. And so that's really our purpose here today, is to move from the data to recommendations and to see how we can address those recommendations. So the process that we're going to go through this morning is I'm going to address each of the 10 key topics and recommendations, pulling some of the data from the report. As we go through, be sure and jot down any ideas that you have for your table or for other tables. And then your table will discuss the assigned topic. A representative from your table will present the summary of the discussions. So I'm just going to launch in to the first topic, which is frequency of aphasia. When you report frequency of aphasia, what statistics do you use? Whether you're applying for a new program, writing a grant. The NIDCD reports on their website that about 1 million people in the US currently have aphasia, and that's data that's extrapolated from stroke. ASHA cites the 1 million prevalence estimate of the NIDCD. The NAA website uses 2 million as a prevalence estimate, and the American Stroke Association gives no frequency statistics for aphasia. About 1.5 years ago, Aphasia Access began reporting, based on the data from the white paper, that a conservative estimate of prevalence is approximately 2.5 million people in the US living with aphasia. And that data is based on extrapolations. It was checked by an epidemiologist and considered suitable estimates. And here you can see information on how the data were arrived at. So approximately 2.4 million is the low estimate, up to 4 million is the high estimate, which we aren't using because we want to go with the conservative estimate. But why are critical organizations all reporting different statistics? So that's our first question to consider. A little more about frequency. Here's a table, and I don't expect you to be able to read all those numbers, but this is what's in the literature about the percentage of people with stroke that have aphasia. Lots of research. The range in those studies was 24% to 50% of stroke survivors present with aphasia. More recently, Charles Ellis and his group have come out with a study that says 14% of people with stroke have aphasia. And right about the same time, Mitchell and colleagues came out with a study that said 42% of people with stroke have aphasia. So what do we believe? Most people just kind of pick a middle number and report it. Probably the reason for this wide range is that the samples vary in time post-onset, stroke type, sample size, the setting. So some of these are hospital admissions, some are down the road, more chronic people with aphasia, the sources of the data, and also the assessments that were used to collect the data vary from very crude screenings to full-on evaluations by speech pathologists. And finally, studies derived from different countries. So you've got all these different ways of measuring the frequency of aphasia. So what percent